Okay, there was the ding. Hey guys, we're live. My name is Alex with Stonework Franchising, and this is Franchise Talk. This is a simple way to pull your head out of Google and make sure that you can look at things and see things as we see them from a bird's eye view of what franchising is and what it can do for you. All right. Now today, ProLift Garage Doors. All right. So I want to introduce you today. I want to introduce Chris Hall. If you haven't seen him before, he's on our second episode. Chris, how's it going, buddy?
It's going great. Appreciate you having me.
Oh, man. Appreciate you having you on. You've been a wealth of information so far with Painting 360, and hopefully today you can talk to us a little bit more about ProLift Garage Doors and what it can do for some of the guys that we have coming. One out of the military, sure. Two out of corporate America, because God knows everybody's having problems with employment nowadays, and three, helping out other people from different skilled assets or careers in their life, like teachers and teachers, electricians, construction workers, some of the guys who've been through careers of professionalism,
sure,
but really need to do something more to establish themselves in a retirement format. There's a whole host of backgrounds that we worked with. So here we go. Here, if you can't already see it, this is essentially what I like to put together and I call our first step. It's our hurdles to entry. All right, we all know this is a garage door business. I'm going to tell you as a franchise consultant, stop looking at the brand. Stop it. Just stop. That's not where you should be looking first. You should be looking and you should be digging deep for an infrastructure. But first, you have to know what works for you. Everything in franchising is a process. So this one starts here. Hurdles to entry, $40,000 franchise fee. Okay. You're looking at having to cut a check for 40 grand to step into this franchise because that's what it takes to get you started. It takes that to get you in the system, get you trained, and get your business cranked up so that you can start to function, so you can start to generate revenue. All right. All in, you're looking at 70 to 80K. And what it costs for you to live for the first couple months until you can get cash in the door from this business enough to support yourself. Training, you always got to look at this from a training perspective. It's going to take you 2 weeks to get trained in this. So from flash to bang, from start to finish, as soon as you start to talk to Chris and myself to the point where you're in business for yourself, you're looking at overall about a month. That's a good thing with a home-based business. It doesn't take a whole lot to crank up. So that's a good hurdle to entry right there. It's a lot less of a hurdle and more so of a confirmation thing and making sure that it's right for you. All right, hiring an employee or contractor. Chris, I want you to talk to us a little bit about that first, because we want to cover this hurdles to entry thing as efficiently as possible. So, but Chris, if you could talk to us a little bit about yourself and a little bit about how ProLift came about things and how this all started.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
How this company was formed. Maybe this next couple bullets will make a little bit more sense.
Yeah, absolutely. And gosh, there's a lot of places I could start, but my brief background is in the world of personal finance. I think it's mostly a scam. A lot of brokers are really more self-interested. It's not built around the client. I really wanted to be involved with something that really had the end user's best interest in mind and best interest in building an asset. So what I've found, the best way to build an asset is to own your own business. It provides daily income and provides an asset or something that could be sold at a later date if that's the direction you go. Or it's like the lottery. You can take the annuity and just keep getting checks for the rest of your life. So there are multiple things and different paths you can take with this. A couple of the reasons I like franchising in particular is because it provides that clear path for you. So a lot of these hurdles that we showed earlier, I mean, we walk through that with you. It's not like we give you a checklist and just say, go do it. We're there. This is part of a franchise. It's a partnership. It's a team. We want you guys to do good. The better you do, the better we do. It's win-win. So that, in kind of a short, led me to actually doing some brokerage work, much like yourself, Alex. And I really latched onto a company called 360 Painting. I know Alex had a bit of a dyslexia there with Painting 360, but you get the two search terms right. No big deal. The painting business really well. I do. The metrics are good. The guys are doing really well. The system is great. It's from an investment standpoint, it's a little bit on the lower side of the spectrum. So I think it has a lower entry and a lower top end as well. Um, Myself and the owner of 360 Painting are partners in the garage door business. He's a very experienced franchisor, has been in the business for a long time and knows how to build successful franchises and consequently franchisees. I have kind of ground experience in the service world. Ran a window cleaning business for a bunch of years. Service businesses all start smelling the same. It's the same customer, the same acquisition process. The end product's different. I used to have, my product was clean windows, painting. You put paint on a wall. Garage doors, you're servicing a garage door. But what Alex indicated earlier is don't focus on that. Don't focus on the brand. Don't focus on the end product. That's not the business you're in. The business that you're in is attracting customers and building a business that does XYZ. That in itself doesn't matter a whole lot. I went to grad school. I never thought I'd be running a garage door business or a window cleaning business. That just wasn't even in the realm of possibilities. But you know what? You pop the hood, you see what the engine is, and wow, it's good. So just being a little bit open-minded, I think you find that there are a lot of great opportunities in the service industry. And we really took a top-down approach with this. I had experience, like I said, in the window cleaning business, Paul in the painting business, and we started looking at what is the best service business to be in. What has consistent demand? What does not have seasonality effects? What is, more or less recession resistant? High profit margins, low overhead, relatively low investment cost, fragmented market. There's not a dominant player. Unsophisticated competition, right? They're still going job to job. They're not throttled down on the internet, making sure that eyeballs point to our company. Obviously supports their comprehensive training. Everything that we could think of is what was in our criteria for finding a new business. And we looked at like a rubbish removal company, HVAC, plumbing. I mean, we looked at everything.
Yeah.
And we finally found something that really fit, most of the criteria. Nothing's perfect. Anybody that tells you the world's perfect, they probably are on heavy medication. But this, this hit the high points.
Yeah.
So we just jumped. We've got, again, a lot of experience in the franchising world, a lot of experience at the unit level. So I've been running the ProLift Garage Door corporate territory here in Denver for a year now. We just started franchising it now that we've really understood the metrics of the business, and it makes a whole lot of sense. The barriers to entry are kind of high, but not extremely high. You don't need special licensing or like you would for a plumber or an electrician or something of that nature. But it does require some specialized knowledge. Our training it's going to be second to none. I mean, we're building the hands-on training facility here in Denver, where we'll have a model live garage door system that we can crash. Have the guys come out and practice training and repairing the springs, diagnosing everything. And also, given the age that we are kind of in the technology world, we can FaceTime. We can help technicians that don't have years and years of experience get through almost any kind of repair project, because you can turn your iPhone around and point at the problem, and I can look at it. I can see exactly what you're looking at, and I can walk you through a troubleshooting scenario. I mean, one of the guys here that is an excellent technician, that's going to be his job. He's going to sit there, and when the questions come in, you're going to turn your phone around, your iPad around, and we're going to troubleshoot live exactly what's going on in the client's house. So what we are able to do in a franchise is skip a whole lot of that initial learning phase. And you're just able to piggyback on our experience. I mean, that's what makes a franchise great, is you see the opportunity. Okay, you'll hit some of the key metrics that really make this business attractive, and then you just jump. And we're in a position so that when you jump, you're in good hands. This is not our first rodeo, so to speak. We know what we're doing. We got a lot of satisfied clients here in Denver. We're doing things right. We know what works, and now we're ready to share that and help other people, live their dream. Did I answer your question? I don't even remember what it was, but I answered a lot of questions.
Oh yeah, you did answer a lot of questions. That's okay, because you're able to see what kind of passion you have about it, where you're coming from, and that's exactly why we're here. Because a lot of people get caught up in the fact that okay, there's a lot of franchises out there. Okay, I'm gonna measure their profitability, their projected profitability, and what they're trying to do is trying to get a good gauge and a good feel of if this is going to work for me. Well, the long and the short of it is there's a lot of variables that come into play. If you're trying to do your own statistical analysis on the probability of you being successful in this business,
you're all wrong.
You have to do is essentially go out there, learn about every single company and every single variable that there's possibly going to affect you, and then try and produce an outcome. It's not going to happen like that. That's why we have a lot of analysts who come through and that don't ever make a decision because they paralyze themselves.
Yep.
What this is for is it's for an entrepreneur. It's for an entrepreneur who's trying to find, or somebody who's trying to step out, produce a retirement, create and work for themselves, because they know for a fact they can get out and meet and greet people. They can follow a system that's proven itself. And this company's newer, but it's already producing, it's moving, and it's proving itself.
Oh yeah.
And that's the reason they stepped into it in the first place. So not just that, you are not just getting the year or so that ProLift has been in its phase, but you're getting a system that's been latched onto a painting system that is in a similar industry that has really grown. And I'm assuming, if I'm right, Chris, maybe you can answer this.
Sure.
Would it be possible and capable for you guys to support a multi-brand ownership?
Oh, sure.
Or growth? And that makes a lot of sense to me, especially as somebody who would want to look into service-based industries that are low cost, that I can scale and I can grow into a big business if I want to.
Scaling is not hard.
Okay.
It doesn't take much overhead, which is great.
Right. It's
the great thing about service business.
Yeah. So what would that look like? What would scaling look like in this company?
In the garage door business, I'll be honest with you. It's going to take a while. This is true of any business.
Right.
The great thing about it is you grow with your customer base.
Yeah.
You can, we've got 2 employee technicians here in Denver, which is plenty big enough to get us to probably, I don't know, 750, 800,000 in revenue.
Okay.
After that, we may take on somebody kind of part-time between now and then, but there are a lot of quality contractors out there. There's a lot of people that already know how to fix garage doors. It's just like painting business. There's a lot of people that know how to paint already, but they need work. So you're able to use this kind of hybrid model where you have employees that you're giving them the full-time work, and then spillover work goes to contractors. And, eventually that contracted work would either be filled by a new full-time employee, or, you would just continue to contract the work out. There's some flexibility in that. And I think the hybrid model probably makes more sense. It allows you to keep your labor cost in line with your revenue. So in other words, you don't have to support 3 techs that are, doing a 2.3 job, or let's see, doing 75% work or something like that, right? Because ideally, you want an employee to be employed, full-time, generating revenue every day. And
that's going to keep you happy. So
yeah. So if you don't have that amount of work, you can kind of default to contractors to do the spillover work until you ramp up your business. So that's really what it looks like. You'll need a little bit more probably admin help as you grow. We do have a full service call center and dispatch center. So all calls initially would come straight into the call center, and there is um, the folks in place that understand the garage door business. They know how to sell the business, sell the work, and then at that point they're dispatching on your behalf. So it's very seamless. Again, the owner's real responsibility is in kind of orchestrating everything, um, getting out into the community, and really talking with apartment associations and rental housing associations. Those are two. Gosh, I shouldn't say this. It's going to be out on internet land. These are two of our big kind of secret stashes of work. We look at one owner or one person, one company that manages multiple garage doors. If you go to an apartment complex, you're talking about one maintenance manager that's in charge of, hundreds of garage doors, instead of just one residential client that has one garage door. So you're really able to capitalize on or focus your marketing efforts on entities that are multiple buyers. So you get repeat buyers.
Right. Yeah.
Which most garage door companies don't do that. They're just competing, trying to go for the individual residential client.
Right. And this is something that you're touching on, something that I wanted us to creep into next, which is, there are three major things that I look at as far as a franchise. And for anybody looking, which is probably why you're looking at this, or you're just kind of drumming through this, which is one, you're looking at a brand name. You're looking at something to attach yourself to grow with. And two, you're looking at you're really looking at a system, the training and system that they provide you. But the third thing that I think a lot of people miss, they say, well, you're looking at royalties, brand, and training. Well, I think they missed that final piece. And really, I think it comes down to brand, training and support, but mostly the infrastructure. The infrastructure of a franchise will make or break you. And this is something I wanted to show you that I liked about not only the painting company that Chris is with, but this company as well. And I'm gonna share screen this with you a little bit. Check this out. There a lot of from what I understand about service-based businesses is that a lot of them try and drum up business. That seems to be the whole goal, is drumming up business for almost every independent mom and pop painter, electrician, plumber, anything you can think of, because they don't have the infrastructure that a franchise can to make it possible enough to have consistent work.
Yep.
This is the technology I've seen with you guys. So maybe you can help explain this a little bit to people.
Yeah, so we're on a platform with a company called Connected Services. They're out of Virginia. They are really the technology partner, the backbone in all of this. They've been very successful in the service industry for a bunch of years.
Right.
What they've seen is an opportunity, or really a lack of the things that you were talking about, the infrastructure, and so they put it all under one kind of one hood here, and have allowed, and we're again working with them to really customize it towards our business, our particular needs here. But all of these different islands, if you will, to be under one umbrella, and for their 100% focus on the back-end technology of everything that you would need for a service business, and then allow whatever service business it is. It doesn't really matter. Again, they all. I hate to give away all the secrets here. I feel like I'm the Wizard of Oz behind the cape, and I'm just like, hey, it's all kind of the same.
Yeah, and it is in a certain respect. It's all kind of the same. There are a lot of companies out there. There are thousands of franchises out there. What makes them different? And you know what? It really just boils down to what kind of integration and what kind of support and infrastructure they have to support your success.
Oh, that's huge. That's the secret sauce right there.
Yeah.
There's so much work out there. It doesn't matter if it's garage doors or painting or cleaning carpets, whatever it is. There's so much out there. But it's just a matter of who has got the system that can go out and get that work and not just drum up business. Like, we attack the business, we're like business attracting ninjas. That's what we do.
God, he brought up the ninjas reference. Yes.
Well, that's what
Yeah.
my cousin was for Halloween, so
Okay.
it was on my forefront. But anyway, that's where the skill is in attracting the work, getting in front of the buyers, and then managing that whole I guess lineage from when somebody wants to buy all the way through the fulfillment and reconciliation process, making sure that they have a very smooth transition through the different really components of the business. And this is just what we do. We've got a great system. Again, we learned a lot from 360 painting on how to do things correctly. And that system's been around for about 10 years. So we've got a lot of knowledge that's come out of that. And we're able to essentially cut. It's a franchise, right? We just do things that work. That's what the whole franchise system is built as. Don't invent it. Don't start from scratch. So while we may have put a new product at the end of the line, this is old news for us. This just works. We know what we're doing.
and that's the good part. That's what I like seeing, and that's why I interview you guys to see where this is going and how this can help out people. With as much as we've seen with clients that come through and the ones who are successful in finding a franchise that really works for them is finding not only a franchise with a model and a group of people they can become a part of, a group they can really become a part of, but really finding a system that works with their lifestyle, they can afford, and at the end of the day is going to get them where they want to be with the least amount of effort. People naturally go down the path of least resistance. And and you got to remember, guys, that the bigger and better and badder the infrastructure is, it essentially is the path of least resistance. You're going down something that works, which essentially, if you didn't see all that stuff before, you got work order management, scheduling and dispatch, route optimization. You've got customer tenant portals. You can track all this. That kind of structure, that kind of infrastructure is what really weighs down on small business owners that really don't have their stuff together. And that's what sets you apart as a customer service representative, essentially, or a customer or being in the service-based industries. That's what makes your business. And that's why they're looking for good franchisees. Am I wrong about any of this, Chris?
No, you're absolutely right. And, to kind of elaborate that point further, the more infrastructure kind of work that's already taken out of the equation that you don't have to do, like that is all non-revenue generating activities. In a service business, you need to focus on things that generate revenue, not on route optimization, right? That's just a software package, right? Yeah. And this is why I say that you have to be so focused on generating revenue, which is generating new clients and facilitating the sales process with the new clients. As an owner, this stuff's already taken care of. What you need to do is just get out there and represent your company, because all the background work, all the back end stuff's already done for you. You're really free to grow as quick as you can. The call center, dispatch center, we could take thousands of calls a day. That's done. So you don't have to worry about that. All you need to do is just get that phone to ring. And a lot of that is done on the internet, and we certainly have a very robust program that is working wonders.
Yeah, I saw it. Hold on a second. I want to show them a picture of this. Oh, yeah. There you go. You like that?
Yeah.
It's a mess. That's what it really looks like in my head too. When I'm doing my stuff, that's what it looks like in my head too. So guys, don't worry about this. This is not going to be part of the training. I'm assuming this isn't a part of the training, is it? You're not.
No. Here's the thing. Again, this navigating that map, that doesn't generate revenue for you right away. We've already done all that. It's a third party takes care of it.
Yeah.
This is all part of the secret sauce. Is focus on what generates business, and let professionals do their job, which is in the SEO world, in the SEM or pay-per-click marketing, all the directory listings, all the review sites, all that mess that was up there. No, somebody else takes care of all that.
Yeah.
You'll get a high order view of what's going on in the internet landscape, But we've already got the systems dialed in. All you have to do is really plug and play, and then get back to get out on the streets and start talking about your business.
Right, and that's a big part of it. You're working on the business and not in the business, and that's how it should be.
Now, I'll throw one additional little twist in here.
Go ahead.
Is some people have really expressed interest in doing the technical side of it, or doing the business, I guess is a better way to say it, doing the repair work and the service work. And because we have a call center set up that's going to take your calls, close your customers that call, and then dispatch a work order, you can actually do that. So if you don't want to bring on labor right away, and maybe you're not capitalized as well as you wish you would have been, you can jump in the business, and we can grow that up with you to the point where you do need, to bring in additional technical help and technicians. So because that front end, because the phone component is taken off of your plate, there's some flexibility. It also makes it a very good semi-passive business once you get it up and running as well.
And that's something that a lot of owners work towards and strive towards is really that semi-passive.
That's when the magic happens.
Yeah, that's where the magic happens.
Absolutely. Yeah, it gives you flexibility. You can go on vacation. Nobody even knows you're gone. That's
right, and they can operate, and money's being made.
Yeah,
and that's essentially where every business owner. And if you guys haven't got caught on a little bit, you're hearing business owners talking about, the end game, the fun part, where that is what the goal is. That's what a lot of successful people do. They get very wrapped up in their businesses and what they like to do, because it's making them money even when they stop doing stuff. It's really something that's quite unique, because when you're looking at having a capacity to make money, if you're in a job or if you're in a career or if you're in doing something, there's only so much money you can make, because your potential to earn that caps out with your time.
Yep.
And with that, you're left with there's opportunity cost that's just hanging out there of other things that you could be doing or leveraging. And if you really want, and I'm going to post this up underneath this video, so that if you guys are interested, you can go check it out. But look up the definition of opportunity cost under Investopedia. And that's going to really change the way you think about, even looking at a new job if you're trying to job hunt, or if you're looking at an opportunity. Really, really living that definition is something that might change the way you view, even in your franchise search. What are you really looking at? What are you assessing? Your assessment, your outcome is this. It's your life. What is your life going to look like when you sign that document, you move forward? And what is it going to look like when you retire? And what's at the end of the day, what's that margin? What's that return going to be? Because essentially, once you commit, is there something else out there that could have been done better, or you could have earned more money doing? At the end of the day, that's what your search comes down to. And that's why we take it through in a methodical process. And looking at this company, and this is from my view, you're looking at something that is not going to be, for its investment level, you're not going to look at changing the world in a year. You're not looking at doing what some of the bigger industries are doing in some of the bigger, more active, more very fluctuating industries that are a little bit more risky. You're not looking at doing that kind of money, but what you are looking at is something very comfortable. And once you actually get a hold of an FDD and look at numbers, that's going to be the changing game right there. That's when you're going to be able to do an assessment. And I got a question for you though, Chris. Do you guys have an item 19 yet?
No, we don't, since this is new.
Okay. All right.
I can tell you, this was our first full year operating the territory here in Denver. Now we did buy the initial business really for the technicians that were here and for some inventory and those kind of constraints or reasons. They were on a completely wrong marketing path. And we knew that when we bought it. That's where we really saw some opportunity there. So we essentially stopped that marketing cold when we bought it, which effectively dropped the revenue to about nothing. So we took that dip. It was the wrong, I don't even know if they were making money. Honestly, I don't think they were. Maybe breaking even. It was a little muddy. But anyway, this is the thing about I'll just go ahead and say, this is the thing about leaders. You make a decision.
Right.
You don't get all the information. It's not a nice, neat equation that makes sense, and there's no perfect world. You do some due diligence. Okay, and in our case, we put together the components that we thought, based on our experience, the components that made the most sense to us in a service business. That's what we know. Put those on the table. That's our engine. Now let's backfill it. What industry is it? How about that? It's garage door maintenance. Great. So it was a very conscious decision to buy or to start a business that fits certain criteria, irrespective of what the product is. Okay, so you don't have all the answers when you start. You never will, but you have to eventually go with your gut, based on the due diligence you've done, and jump. And based on our experience, it's a pretty secure path. We know what we're doing, but at the end of the day, you've got to make a decision. And you might find that other paths make more sense, which is fine. We want this to be the right move for you. We're going to be there to support you 100%, but it has to feel right eventually.
Yep.
And then you've got to go. That's the hardest part about
everybody.
It is the hardest because it's the scariest. That's when things get real. Up until that point, you're just window shopping. You're talking about a business and this and that, and that's all fine and good, but it doesn't really do anything.
Yeah, it's what some people.
As soon as you make that decision, that's when your life changes.
Yeah,
and up until that point, you've just wasted time.
and essentially,
no value's been created until that ink dries.
That's right.
Man, you're in business and you're doing it.
I remind people that
I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about that because I know what the feeling's like.
I know amazing. What the feeling's like too. I did it out of the military, man. I'm telling you, making that life transition is a pain. And that's what this show is really about. It's about life transitions and better business decisions.
But you know what? The people that do it,
yeah,
it's not that big a deal, honestly. Once you get through it and done it, understand what it's like, it's not a big deal. But for someone that doesn't know and hasn't gone through it, it's a huge deal. I understand that. You just gotta jump.
For a lot of people that I know, and that's why I say, I don't know if you've ever seen that. I'm going to send it to you, as a matter of fact, Chris.
All right.
It's the definition of opportunity cost. There is a video on Investopedia.
Okay.
It will change people. If more people watch that stupid definition, I think there would be a lot more entrepreneurs in general. I think that thing should be publicized. Maybe we might change the country. Who knows? But
we can't have too many business owners and want anybody to do the work for us.
Yeah, well, this is true. But there's always going to be those people, man, and that's fun. I talk to them all day long, who can't come over the fact that they can't calculate their risk to zero, and that's not the case. In making decisions for you and your family, you always have to make steps forward. You have to make challenges. You have to do things to continue to drive on, or else it's not going to happen for you. Nothing's going to work. Nothing's going to change. You're going to stay right where you're at. And that's fine for some. But others who are driven, this show is for them. This is for you. Guys.
That's why I'm here.
And that's drivers. That's why we're here. We're here to help you drive on. We're here to help you make decisions.
Yeah.
The best way you can.
There's a great life out there.
Oh yeah. This is what it's all about. It's the light at the end of the tunnel. Where are you going to be? Where do you think you're going to be in 10 years? You know what? If you keep trying to figure out where you're going to be in 10 years and you never actually execute anything,
go look in the mirror. That's where you're going to be.
You're never going to be anywhere. If you try and move forward with something, it doesn't really matter what it is. You could be selling spandex. It doesn't really matter. What really matters is that you made a plan and you delivered. You executed on that plan. If it fails, if it drives forward, it once again really doesn't matter, because if it fails, you can come back from it. You can do it again. You can try again. Most of the time, businesses make enough money to where when it's failing. You've dove in, but you've lost what? A little bit of time, and you've learned a lot.
That's really time. And I think that's something that people forget about. Is you're building an asset. You decide couple years into running a garage door business, if this isn't for you and you just tired of looking at garage doors,
Sell it.
Sell it. I mean, that's what I did in my window cleaning business. We did
You
that for a
don't
while.
much in the cleaning business.
I mean, we sold it for over $200,000 for cleaning windows.
Cleaning windows.
Yeah, guess
Guys.
what? Clean the
I know.
You-
And it is what it is. It's a matter of figuring out what you want to do. And if garage doors doesn't seem like it's going to be for you, it might not be. But at the end of the day, that's what this company is. It is a mode of transportation to get you from point A to point B financially and in a lifestyle function that you think you can do. That's something you think you can learn and be absorbent and be knowledgeable about to move forward and to actually sell it. And if it's sellable in your market, that is something that we take you through a process to learn. Okay. That is what this is all about, is learning what franchises are out there and really getting a hold of the understanding that there is a light at the end of the tunnel and figuring out how to calculate where you're going to be at that. We don't really calculate, there is a risk component and we try and mitigate it. That's what franchising is about. Franchises are about mitigating risk because they've already done the failures. They've already failed. I failed in business at a few things and we get right back up, we change it and we optimize. We make it better because we know it works. That's how you learn. And that's why franchises are so good for first time and even 31st time business. Doesn't matter. I mean, that's where you see the value in it. What's the trade-off? Okay, there's pros and cons to everything. What's the trade-off? Trade-off is that you have to pay royalties.
Mm-hmm.
These guys are supporting you. They're giving you training. And like Chris said, they're going to be at the other end of that iPhone or whatever phone system I don't know what phones you're going to get, but whether you're Google-based, Android-based, i-based, it doesn't matter. They're going to be at the other end of that cell phone going, what is this? I've never seen this before.
It's video.
Fix this, and this. And then you get the heck out and bill them. That's what this is about. That's infrastructure and that's help.
Yep.
So that's a good bit of infrastructure and a little bit of knowledge to make you a little bit more comfortable. If you want to work on garage doors and that's what you want to do, good business for you because they've got a work in model. If you want to work on a business in a great market, the industry being, if you have questions on industry, I'm sure they'll have the industry reports to show you. And if they don't, I do. And depending on where you are at in this country, we're gonna be able to pull industry data for you so that you're able to make a conscious decision as to what kind of dollars are in that market and industry and if it's achievable. They don't want to put you in an area that isn't going to work or they're going to have a fail. One, it looks bad to them, being honest. It looks bad. And then two, they're not getting the royalties from it. And three, you're likely to sell it. And it's just all around. It's going to be look bad. It's going to be a lose, lose, lose. This is all about trying to get a win, win, win. They want you to do well and they're going to train you to do well so that you can do well and they can do well.
Absolutely.
I try and stick to the KISS method. Maybe I oversimplify things a little bit, but a lot of the guys I've been talking to lately have been, under the assumption that okay, I need to find out who's going to be my customer, and I'm not sure if I can get people I'm not sure if I can get people in the door. That seems to be the biggest question. I mean, what do you think? What do you think with some of the candidates you've worked with in the past, Chris? What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, there's concerns. There's always concerns. What it really boils down to, and getting customers is not, it's not the issue. I mean, the reality is that, once a candidate finishes training, we're going to start juicing the internet leads up right away. You'll get clients. I mean, we just know how to do it. We've just been doing it for a long time. But what it really comes down to, and this is hard to look at yourself and admit that, but it's fear. Fear is usually what drives almost everything and what usually leads to not making a decision. So if you can overcome that fear hurdle, which is the one hurdle that is not on the list there, is getting out of your own way and just
overcome it. doing it.
Well, yeah, trusting us that we know what we're doing and we're going to take care of it, because it's scary. You're saying, it's like you're falling backwards and you're hoping that we're going to be there to catch you, not let you hit the ground, which is real. This is the first time, maybe the second time you see me here, just a different shirt. So really being comfortable with that company and that system enough to agree to change your life and to completely make a decision to do something different. And it's super scary. And I understand that. But that's what really prevents the people from, prevents people that make it from those that just kind of live their own life and they just go from job to job and hope to maintain employment. It's the business owners that are making it in the world. They're the ones that are doing really well. But yeah, there's a component of risk, and it's calculated risk. It's not like you're taking your money to Las Vegas and hoping to double it. It's not that kind of risk. It's very calculated risk. The reality is there's going to be garage doors from here into the future. I don't know, maybe when we start having flying cars, we land on our roofs and that puts a dent in the business. I don't know, but for the foreseeable future, garage doors aren't going anywhere. And I tell you this, if you're trying to get your car out of the garage and it doesn't open and you need to get to work, we're getting a phone call. It doesn't matter what the economy is, it doesn't matter.
You're calling out of work is what you're doing.
Yeah. And you know what? You're saying, hey, Chris, how fast can you get here?
Yeah.
Well, we're not even talking about price. We're talking about speed.
That's right.
It doesn't even come in the conversation. It's, I can take care of you right now. Right. How about a broken garage? When it's come off track or something like that? Same thing. There's a significant breach in your house now. That little garage door that you go from the garage into your house, that's usually paper thin. That's not a real security. It's like a front door. But if your garage is accessible, same thing. How quick can you get here? Because I really can't lock up. So,
how much stuff? To be honest with you, how much stuff? If you ever wanted to try and assess a need or see if you're in the target market for this, to see if it sells, or if you think this is something that actually makes money, how much stuff do you keep in your garage? Right? I keep a lot in my garage. I have a fridge out there. Literally, I'm in the South, guys.
It's like an on-site store. You probably have a deep fridge then.
I do. I have a full-size kitchen fridge in my garage. I'm in the South.
It's like an on-site mini storage.
You have. I don't know where are you located, man? You're up in north, right?
Yeah, I'm in Colorado.
You're in Colorado.
Yeah.
I'm in Florida. Okay, guys. And if I'm in Jacksonville, Florida. That's right. Franchise Talk is hosted in Jacksonville, Florida. Yeah, another thing. Out of all the crazies in the world, yeah, that's where we're located. You're looking at a few things. When you're in the South, and especially down here, a lot of people have full-size fridges and just hang out in their garage. Yeah, it's hot, but you know what? It takes the sun away and it kind of gets you out of humidity a little bit, especially when you have a fan in there. Some people have fans in there, and most people do down here. And you see it every now and then, but we all hang out in our garages. A lot of us do. We tailgate in our garages. My neighbors have literally put TVs in their garage with full-size fridge. It is another living room.
Sure.
That's what it is down here. And we keep a lot in our garage. I've got 4 motorcycles. I've got tools. I've got stuff to work on the bikes. I've got a whole host of stuff, stuff for the kids because they need everything in the world when we go anywhere. And then fishing poles, we're active as anything else. And I'm sure you are too. And if you keep that stuff in your house, I don't know if you've ever seen a garage door fall before.
It can be very dramatic.
It's very dramatic, but it can bust stuff. It's not pleasant. No. And so if you ever figure, if you have a garage door, ever seen a garage door, or even been near anyone with a garage door that has malfunctioned, it's not cool. And yes, it costs a lot of money to fix it. And most people don't know squat about how to fix a garage door, even if you're a handyman.
And you know what? Most of the people won't touch it because it can be dangerous if you don't know what you're doing.
I was just about to get to that.
People have lost fingers, ripped fingers apart.
My
Because
uncle,
those
my uncle
springs,
cut himself with one of those tension springs. It's
yeah.
pop. Got him right in the arm, separated that. Luckily, he didn't separate his artery. Luckily, he just, he got nicked by, I think it was either that tension spring or an attic door or something like that. But those tension springs on there can be lethal. Those things are.
Oh yeah. Well, think about it. Those springs are what takes the weight of the door. That's why you can lift your garage door without the motor. So those essentially counterbalance the weight of the door. So if you have a 200-pound door, 300-pound door, that's what the springs are counterbalancing. And when they come unwound, they come unwound quick if you're not ready for it. Which, it's a great point. This is not a handyman project. Most handymen, most quote husbands, they won't touch it. It's not dangerous, but you just have to know what you're doing. And that's part of the training, is being safe. I mean, safety is first and foremost in the training.
Yeah.
Making sure you understand what happens when you turn this screw, and the door comes slamming. I mean, there's a lot of weight and a lot of momentum that's involved in this, and you've got to know what you're doing. So that was another one of the points that we were looking at when we were trying to decide which would be the best business for us to be into. Painting, well, I painted myself.
Yeah, you can do it yourself.
Don't like to do it, but you can do it.
Yeah.
Window cleaning, you can probably do a lousy job of it. You can do it. It takes a while. Fixing a garage door system, ooh, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so.
You know what? I'll tell you this. I don't know how much I'm supposed to say on franchise talk, but our that doesn't take. I won't get into too much detail.
Yeah. Listen, it's an interview, but I'm not here to interrogate. You ever seen my profile? I don't know if you have or not, but I was an interrogator in the military. I'm not here to interrogate you. I'm just here to get a little bit of information.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I got to save some of the goodies for later. The point is we were very conscious when we decided that this was the right business. Not because either one of us really cared anything about garage doors. That was the engine we wanted, and that's what we bought.
Yeah.
And it is beautiful.
Yeah.
And it happens to be called garage door service business.
Right.
And it's a whole new way of thinking, which is tough for a lot of people that haven't really been in business for themselves before.
That's cool.
Quit thinking about the product.
That's right. And that's why I started this out. And we're going to kind of finish things up and wrap it up here. We covered the hurdles to entry. We covered, why this is a good business to get into. We've covered really the infrastructure of what they're offering and how things are going. And I appreciate the time, Chris, but what this is, you ended on one quite a good point. And this is what I want to portray in franchise talk, is that don't drown in a sea of labels on Google, not really knowing what you're looking at or what you're passing up. You can essentially pass up that opportunity cost. You'll miss it. You'll miss it because you don't think it's sexy. And you know what? Yeah, I mean, I used to be in the military. I used to look good in uniform. At times it used to not look so good in uniform. It used to be really stinky and out in the woods and stuff. But at the end of the day, the stuff I was doing then looked so much more attractive than what a lot of soldiers and a lot of professionals feel that you are on the outside, that you've changed, that you're a different person. No, essentially at the end of the day, I'm a businessman and I'm very comfortable. I like presenting myself as a businessman now because I'm with a group of people. I'm amongst other brokers, other franchise brokers that do, incredible jobs in their own ways. We're competitive, but we're not, essentially I'm a part of a large association of independent brokers that do very well amongst each other. We're good friends. We work together when we can. Why? Because there's value in it. There's value in teamwork. And that's what we used to do. So we find value in the things that are out there that people necessarily take for granted. You have companies that sell shoes. You have companies that build countertops. You have companies that franchises that do just about anything you could think of. And most people think of franchises as the burger joint that messes up your order every week, or just drives you nuts because you have to sit in a long line and then you have to go through again because they messed it up. At the end of the day, this is about you and your future and your financial security. And if you can't motivate yourself to move forward, you're dying. If you can't go forward, if you can't challenge yourself, if you can't do anything other than think about ways or think about reasons why not to do it, you're dying. You're sitting there and you're dying. You're not moving forward. Challenge yourself professionally in your career, in your work. If that's the kind of person you are and you want to continue that, fine. I don't have anything against you. We do need people to work for us. And I'm going to tell you that straight up. We need people to work for us. And I
need somebody to help me achieve my dreams.
That's right. You know, some of the professionals we have in this country are great. They're phenomenal. They're innovators in their own right. They've done things. They've invented things. They've come up with new things for bigger companies to make this world a better place. But what do you gauge yourself in that? How do you gauge your family with that? And how are you teaching your children? How are you moving forward? How do you plan to retire? A lot more baby boomers, a lot more people who are trying to find that retirement. You know, as a younger guy who's been to Iraq and Afghanistan and it's just tired and in pain right now because my back is done from being sprained. Just looking at the end of the day, how does your retirement going to look? Are you looking 10, 15, 20 years down the way and trying to make it to that really nice, comfortable bit? That's what we're trying to achieve here. So that's my motivational talk for today. I appreciate you guys for staying on and watching, for those of you who have, and for Chris, for you coming on another episode of Franchise Talk and divulging way too many secrets that you probably shouldn't have. That's okay.
Delete all those secrets.
I'll edit them. We love it though. We love it though. And because of your comment, I want to finish off with this too. This is Franchise Talk, and my name's Alex. I'm the host of Franchise Talk and president of Stonework Franchising, and we are franchise finding ninjas. You guys have a great day. Thanks, Chris, for hopping on. We'll help you. We'll help you find it. All right. We'll help you find what you want, what's going to work for you. All right. You guys take it easy. Have a great one. Bye.
Thanks, Alex.
Thanks for watching Franchise Talk. Please subscribe to our channel and don't forget to like and share us on social media. We are committed to assisting you so that you find franchises without the frustrations of internet searching and sites selling your information before you even get a chance to talk to franchises. If you want to simplify your life and have someone to facilitate your information collection, I'm here to be your personal resource and one-on-one coach. If you would like to be a guest on the show, to ask franchise bigwigs questions or contact me for franchise support, check out for my contact information below down in the description. Thanks for watching.